What up, bros? I'm Frank. This is a video review of the Nerf Alien Menace Ravager. This is a pump-action spring blaster that holds 8 rounds in the front with a cool rotation. Let's get into the review. Included is the blaster itself, 2 of the barrel things that come detached, 2 of which are already attached out of the box, a few elite darts that are colored, as well as the instructions. Now let's go over the externals and operation in a bit more detail, starting up with this crazy looking front. This is a front-loading blaster that holds 8 darts, so you can just front load like that. The firing sequence is odd and it rotates every shot. It's not really based around function, but it looks really cool. I mean, come on, that looks awesome. Why do all the alien things look scary and like move without reason? It's like, if it's spinning and coming at you and shooting, it looks scary as f. Aliens just know how to psychologically wreck the Homo sapiens. So very cool, very bulky, especially since it only holds 8 darts. Down here is the priming handle. It looks a little goofy, not really optimized for the human hand. You know, aliens have goofy hands or whatever. To prime, you pull back and push forward. It's a spring blaster, but it also has slam fire. So if you hold down the trigger and go like this, it fires when your handle hits the forward position. No in-strike tactical rails or anything like that. It looks pretty intimidating and cool looking, but nothing else to point out like functional-wise in the center here. Back here is a sling mount, and down to the grip. It's oversized and large, very comfortable, no complaints at all. I think a kid's hand will fit very well, and it's not alienating to an adult. The trigger pull is very smooth, although when dry firing, the air restrictor seems to be a little bit hyperactive. So if you try to go a little too fast, it'll lock out. If you can see, I'm putting rear pressure on that, and that's because the lock is still active because the piston with the air restrictor is still moving forward. Sometimes an issue, but if you wanted to run around and dry fire this one, it's worth noting. And because how cool it is to rotate, I want to dry fire it a lot more, but it locks up a little bit like that. Not as often when it fires, but it does occasionally. Externals are pretty basic, so again, function, front load, prime, fire, very simple to use. Slam fire, holding the trigger down. Firing the blaster is really fun. It's not really a performer because it only holds 8 shots and that rotation is unnecessary, but it looks really cool. I put this blaster up on the chronograph and I got an average of about 71 feet per second, averaged over 10 darts, which is right on par with the elite par of about 70 feet per second. So it performs just as well as most other Nerf blasters on the market right now. Overall opinion on the Ravager: if you see it and you're like, I really want that because it looks awesome and it looks like a blast to shoot, I'm sure you will enjoy the blaster. It performs just like most other Nerf blasters. I had very few jams or malfunctions, and I had a blast shooting it. It's definitely really quirky and really fun, and it's comfortable to use ergonomically. I like it. Bear in mind, however, it's not really optimized for performance. It has only 8 barrels up here, and reloading, I mean, it's kind of like a goofy looking rough cut, kind of, sort of. But if you saw this and you saw the barrels and you saw the capacity and how you load it and you liked it, I'm sure you're not looking for that 100% purist performance-based blaster. So if you're looking for a quirky little plinker blaster, it works really well. It shoots normally. The only jams I had was when I was trying to run it a little too fast in rate of fire, and that's the lock I mentioned. It's kind of the piston. I might have a lemon. Sometimes blasters just work out this way, and the locks kind of restrict how fast you can go, which is why a lot of modders will take out the locks so you can go much faster. Lots of fun, unnecessary movement, and kind of quirkiness, but if you're into this type of thing, I see no reason why you shouldn't buy the blaster. This is one of those blasters that, like, you saw the image, you watched the firing test, and you're like, I really want one of those, that's awesome. I'm sure you'll be happy with it, because if you're drawn into it, that's what you're looking for. It's one of those types of blasters. I can't say, no, don't buy this one, because everything works really well, and I had a blast. Super redundant statement of my opinion, so that's it. Hopefully I've given you everything you need to know whether or not you'd like to purchase a Ravager. If you'd like to, I'll put a buy link in the description box below. That concludes the review. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay tactical.